Welcome. This is your friendly Frito Bandito, Rich Gonzalez. Got Nate over here, my partner in crime. This is our first episode of Dollar to Deuces. Nate, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, man. I took the day off work, had a nice day with the family, and excited to talk some gambling.
Yeah, so this is going to be a new episode. We're going to be bringing once a week. Hopefully, we'll be doing this every Wednesday, where we'll kind of be talking about game bets, game props during season. But today, we're going to go ahead and jump into the season wins and loss totals over and unders. But before we get started, you can follow us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Podbean, and When a Family Breaks. Also, you can follow us on Spotify and on YouTube. Press and hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and give us that 5-star Apple review. And as always, patreon.com, Toils to Titles. Jump in there. You'll be able to get included in some of the articles and everything that we do. Some of the stuff that we'll be doing on there, Nate.
I know there's the waiver wire episode is going to be coming out for those guys early. I think there's a lot of different different tiers. Kind of, there's a group chat that you can get in. I know Coach says it all the time that we're literally 24 hours a day. You can get anybody because, with our Aussie friends and stuff like that, there's always somebody up. And then, I kind of work some weird hours here and there. So, and then I know there's some one-on-one roster analysis, just quite a bit of stuff. It's pretty cool. A lot of fun. We're not a bad group of guys to get in that group chat with either. So
yeah, we're a grown group, man. Speaking of group, you can follow all of us on Twitter. Scrolling down below, you can follow the rest of the crew at toilstotitles.com, at toilstotitles, and the rest of the crew scrolling on the bottom. So let's go ahead and jump into our first episode where we'll be talking about the win totals. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Let me pull it up a little quick. I apologize. My screen's going blank as I do this. Feel free to jump in, Nate.
So I think first we're going to go talk about, just kind of go around division by division. We're not going to talk about every single team. I mean, we'll tell the win-loss total, but we're not going to go really in-depth in every team because it just, like I said, 32 teams, 17 games, it take a little while. But we'll start out, I think, with the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens over under 11, the Browns 10.5. The Steelers 8.5, and the lowly Bengals at 6.5. I was looking, at the schedule. I think the one that stands out the most, I think that Baltimore total of 11 it's higher than I expected it to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how things are going to be in Baltimore this year, to be honest with you. I think their defense will be very good. I think Lamar Jackson's still going to be very good, but the downfield passing game has me worried, and it's not Lamar's fault.
You got an injured. Already got some injuries popping up and everything, and that kind of scares me too. Just like what you were saying, 11, everything, and Cleveland is going to be a good team this year. They've improved very good as far as defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball and stuff. I was looking at their schedule, and I'm going to go ahead and call splits on probably every single one of their division games and everything. And just in general, I mean, they're going to be playing against Green Bay this year. Miami will be a tough challenge. I mean, they really got some tough schedules ahead of them. I mean, they do got some easy wins in there too, but they got to play Kansas City too. So I'm actually going to take the under on this one. I just think maybe they hit that 11 and stuff like that, but I can see them easily pulling off 10.
Yeah, I think I just kind of ranked the schedule. I think 10-7 is where they're going to be. They have a pretty rough stretch where they go or play Cleveland at home, then they go to Pittsburgh, then to Cleveland. That'll be a tough 3 games there down the road for sure, or down the stretch. So, I said the Browns at 10.5. I think they could hit the over on that one. Just like you said, they were really hitting their stride last year, made some good additions. I think that Mayfield's going to do even better in that Stefanski system. I think he's really, I think he's been benefiting from it quite a bit.
Yeah, I've been looking at their schedule and stuff like that, and their schedule is a lot more lighter than what Baltimore is. They got to play Houston. Minnesota ain't going to be no layover or anything like that, but it should be a fairly close game with them where I see them. It's going to be at Minnesota, and it'll be in Dome and stuff like that, so kind of depends on how that goes. They're really playing against Chicago. I think I'm going to go with you on the over on that one, too. It's going to be tight, too. Like I said, it's going to be a tough division for them in general.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Steelers. I think there's 8.5. I think they'll probably be. I could say under that. They got a tough schedule, and I don't really trust Big Ben this year. I know on the Fades episode they talked about Najee Harris, and I know I'm kind of fading Najee Harris right now just because that offensive line was very bad last year, and it's not any better this year. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I know Big Ben wants to throw the ball all over the place, and that's fine, but I don't think they're gonna be like they were last year at all.
That's a tricky one. I can see this being an 8.5 and stuff like that, and Pittsburgh coming out of nowhere and stuff like that because they got a good offense and stuff like that. And if their defense could be anywhere it was last year and stuff like that, I really think that I'm actually going to go with the over on that. I think they come out of nowhere. I know everybody's talking about their line and everything. I think Harris is going to surprise a lot of people and make this offense just that much better with the receiving core they have. So I'm actually going to take the over on that. When I see them just coming back like normal, like Pittsburgh always does.
Yeah, I think that one's tough for me. It really is, So, and then the last one in the division is the Bengals, 6.5. I'm going with the under. I love Joe Burrow. I love the offense, but the line's terrible. Defense isn't any better. They haven't really made changes, and Joe Burrow's going to get hurt. It makes me nervous. So I'm going with the under 6.5.
He hasn't even got in a preseason game yet. So I think that's an easy under too. So we do got a guest on the show today. Someone in the chat. So do the bookmakers have the Baltimore one total higher than Cleveland? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think he's saying Baltimore win total higher than Cleveland. Yeah. So, by the way, these numbers are all from FanDuel Sportsbook. That's kind of where Rich and I are going to be getting our numbers from. We can both use those in our states to gamble, so hopefully you can too. They have Baltimore at 11, and they have the Browns at 10.5. So it's really, really close there. And one thing with the Browns, I know they don't have the tough schedule. Like the Ravens schedule is pretty nasty.
It is.
So that's kind of where they're at there. I think the Browns, the Ravens have that first place schedule, whatever they call it, from last year. Moving on to the AFC East, unless you got anything else.
No, that's good. Let's go ahead and jump into the next division.
Bills over under 11. The Patriots 9. The Dolphins 9.5. Sorry, they're not in order. I kind of was just doing them, however. And the Jets at 6. So without even really saying too much about the Bills, because how Mike and I already said I'm loving the Bills too. I'm going to take the over on the 11. I think the Bills can win the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. I mean, they're the dark. I mean, not so much the dark horse, but they're one of the favorites for the AFC besides the Chiefs and everything. So I want to go the over and everything. I really do. But man, New England just looks better this preseason. I know it's preseason, and they could really throw a wrench in that. Miami, it's real close. 9.5, 11. The lonely Jets there at the bottom with the rookie Wilson and everything, 6. I'm gonna easily take the under on that one. But this is one of those ones where I want to bet the over, but I'm gonna go the under and stuff like that because a lot of times when you're looking at these bets, you're thinking about the whole season and everything, and it's easier to go under and stuff like that and pull for the under. Man, that's a tough one for me. I like Buffalo. I know you guys like Buffalo. I love Allen and stuff. I'm picking them up everywhere in fantasy and everything. But I actually think I think they will get right there at the 11. I think they're going to take a step back this year.
Yeah, well, like I said, it could happen. It'll be tough. That division's gotten a lot better. As far as the Patriots at 9, I'm taking the over. They are going to be a lot better, I think. And it sounds like Mac Jones. With him at the helm, I think he helps. He can run that offense like Bill likes. I don't need to talk about Mac Jones tonight. We could talk all night about him, but I said over 9 for the Patriots. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
And I'm saying the under for the Dolphins. I know everybody's all big and high on Tua, and I'm sure I'm going to have to eat crow when I am wrong, but I got to stay true to myself and say the under. And the Jets at 6. That's tough, pretty close, but I don't think they'll win a game in the division. It's a lot of young kids out there. You got guys that are, 10 years younger than I am that, playing their first games. And I think they're going to be good eventually, but I think old Bob Saleh has some learning to do and, the rest of the crew's with him. But I said they're going to be a lot better than they were, but
I'm looking at New England's schedule right now, and they got Tampa Bay, Dallas. I'm looking at Buffalo. Those are the only teams I'm looking at losses. Everybody else they play, this should be an easy season for them based off of what I'm seeing. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 losses just from just a quick glance at it. Now, they play Buffalo twice. I can see them splitting that. So that's going to be their third loss. But the rest of the schedule seems really, really easy. So I think I'm going over on that one too.
They have when they go to Indy, I think that'll be tough. Week 15, I think that'll be a tough game. But, even if they lose that game, that's not, and at the Chargers will be tough, I'm sure. We think it will be. And like you said, that last year they had so many guys sitting out. Stephon Gilmore's back. If he comes back, I think he will. It'll be even better. Once Jonnu and Hunter are healthy, I hope, it's going to be even better. And I think they're going to do well, very well, and better than some people think. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I don't have anything against the Pats. Sorry, Justin.
So, quick question. If Cam's running the whole season, is it over and under? What's the over and under if Cam's the whole season?
I think they'd be fine with him. I really do. I think he brings. Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's playing. From what I'd seen, he looks a lot better than he has in the past. When I say in the past, in recent memory, and he brings another element to that game. I know Mac Jones isn't slow by any means, but he's not going to be running the ball like Cam would, and Cam's not running like he used to. But I think the offense will run better with Mac, just because he looks like he's been in a pretty good rhythm. I know it's against the second guys and third guys, but I like what I've seen from Mac Jones quite a bit.
No, I agree. I do too. Let's go ahead and jump over to the AFC South. So in the AFC South, Indiana, the Colts are 8.5, Tennessee Titans 9, the Houston Texans 4, and the Jaguars 6.5. What's your take on any of those?
I really like the Colts over. I was, kind of when Wentz got hurt, it kind of was not really sure. We didn't know how long he was going to be out, but now they're saying, heck, he's probably going to play week 1. And, that team with Phillip Rivers, a guy that couldn't really, nothing against old Phil, but he was kind of past his prime, I think, didn't have much of an arm left. I know Wentz has had his struggles, but I think that it wasn't all his fault. I think there was so much pressure on him to do it, force and everything. And I think he'll be a lot better now. He's probably just a little more relaxed, ready to have some fun. And that defense is phenomenal. And I don't think they skip a beat. I really don't. I think DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard carry that defense, and they're going to be one of the top ones in the league for sure. And, so I think easy over for me.
Their schedule.
I know, tough schedule, very tough schedule.
Tough schedule. They're starting out with Seattle, then they play the Rams, Tennessee, then Miami, and then Baltimore. Okay, just those first 5 games right there. I mean, they could easily go 2-3, 3-2, 4-1, 1-4. I mean, just depends how.
They go 0-5.
Yeah, exactly. They go 0-5 and just throw it. I mean, then they got Houston, so they got a rebound game there and everything. But I mean,
and then San Francisco, then Tennessee again.
Yeah, and then they got to play Buffalo still. They're going to play Tampa Bay. I mean, New England. I mean, it's a tough
take
schedule.
back what I said and just not touch this one at all, because that schedule makes me nervous, and I don't want to say they're going to be in the under because Justin will get mad at me, and I kind of cheer for the Colts a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna be all right with Justin getting mad at me because I am definitely going under on this one. You know what? If they go over, hey, that's great and stuff like that. It's great for Justin. But man, I look at the schedule and there is no way I'm touching that over on that one.
That's tough. That's a lot harder than I thought. I needed to look a little closer at the Titans one too. I don't know what there surely isn't. Is it that bad? Because
I mean, that's just them. Tennessee starting out, Arizona, Seattle, then they got Indy, they got Buffalo, Kansas City. I mean, they got the Rams, they got New England. I mean, that tough schedule too. And what are they sitting at? 9? Whew.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a close one too.
I guess I need to rethink myself. I might have that's under for me. I saw about 4 wins when I looked at it really quick. So.
No, like I said, that's one reason why I wanted to bring the schedule up and everything. Because if you're not looking at the schedule and stuff, and you're thinking, okay, man, they're going to be a good team and stuff like that. But then when you got you first of all, you're just thinking of their division. And you're not even thinking about the other teams they got to play. And then once you start looking at the other teams that they play, home, away, and everything, I mean, it's a brutal schedule for both those teams and everything. I mean, Tennessee has the more prominent players and everything, to where you think, okay, they're going to be in a lot more closer games. Where Indy, they really ain't got no dominant players and stuff like that. Yeah, you got Taylor and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just feel like Indy is going to be having defense is good, but I think it's going to be tougher for them.
The one thing with the Titans that worries me more than anything, actually, I think the Colts win that division for what it's worth. I know we'll talk about that in another episode, but the Titans' defense last year was very, very bad, and I don't think it really gets any better. They signed Jadeveon Clowney for no reason. He wants to play like 6 games a year and make $48 million. They had no pass rush. I don't know if they hit 30 sacks on the year. I mean, no pass rush at all. So that worries me a lot, especially in that division. With Wentz being able to throw, and who knows what Trevor Lawrence is going to do. I mean, we'll see. But it's a Texans over 4. I don't think so. I don't think they win 3 games. That's a crap show down there. And then
it is
same with the Jaguars. I think it's an under. I don't think it's going to take a while. Really bad defense.
It is. I'm going to go both under on both of those. Now let's go to my favorite division, the AFC West. I'll start from the bottom. Kansas City Chiefs 12.5, Chargers 9.5, Broncos 8.5, and the Raiders, they got us at the very bottom at 7 wins. I'm just going to go ahead and call it right now. Raiders are going over. I don't care. I know I'm a homer, but I'm picking the over, and I know everybody's going to be picking the under on that one. But to me, I'm just going over. So I'll go ahead and start there. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I hope the Raiders can't. They've been like 500 every year. That's all I remember. And I'd like to see them go over. Why not? It'd make you happy. I'll be happy. I think I drafted Brian Edwards in a league just because I didn't have any Raiders. So hopefully they can win. Do better than they have. And I will say when you look at a schedule and you see somebody that's 7-9, it kind of, I guess actually it'd be 7-10 now. Or like 6-11, that really looks not good. A lot worse now than it was, when it was only 16 games, I think. But yeah, I think they can go, right. I know the division's very tough. Though.
Look at the schedule. It's a tough schedule too. Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm just picking them because I'm a homer and everything. And stuff.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. You got to be.
I mean, if they start the season out like they have done the last 2-3 seasons, they're going to get the 6 wins, and they're going to, if we improve just a little bit on the back and get another 3-4 wins, just say 3 wins in the second half, that's easily 9 wins and stuff like that. Look, we almost beat Kansas City twice last year. Mm-hmm. Okay. And look, I know we're going to be playing against Baltimore. We're starting against Baltimore at the beginning of the season, Pittsburgh, and then we go through the gauntlet that we have to go through our division and everything. It's a tough division. I'd be willing to say it's one of the toughest divisions throughout the NFL with the Chargers. Look, Denver's gotten better. Their defense is going to be freaking awesome.
Denver's like the best team in the NFL that doesn't have a quarterback, probably.
There you go. You hit it right on the nail, man.
That team's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, hey, think about it. I mean, look, if they hold out till next year and they do get Rodgers, see how tough this season's going to be, man. You don't think so?
No.
Look, and I got to show this because Gary Gillespie, he's one of my best friends. I mean, we talk smack on each other.
He doesn't look like it's saying they're going to be on 17. You guys must not be friends.
We go at each other back and forth. He's a Cowboys fan, so I always hate on the Cowboys too. So
you got to.
What about the rest of teams in that division?
I think the Broncos are going to be under. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they named Teddy Two Gloves the starter. I'd rather have Drew Lock in there winging the ball over the place. He's got too many good receivers to just throw checkdowns and not do anything fun. I think somehow they're going to lose. Their defense is going to be phenomenal, but they can't score. So
I think it's going to be one of those years where they're going to be wins and losses within 3 points and stuff like that on a lot of their games and everything. And that could be
a bunch of barn burners. It'll be like 10-7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. Kansas City 12.5. Are you going over on that?
I looked at the schedule and it's brutal, but I don't know what to say. I think they're going to start off slow this year just because I don't think that their offensive line was poor at the end of the year last year, kind of hurt them in the Super Bowl, obviously. And I don't think it's changed. What's that? The one guy got in trouble with having guns and stuff. That defensive lineman, I just forgot his name. He's Eric something.
Clark? Is it Clark?
I don't know.
Was it Clark?
I should know this. Yeah, Frank Clark.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry I forgot that. That makes me feel bad. But that's a lot of wins. 13 wins, 13-4. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but I'm not betting on this one. That's for sure. It's just, I think the Chargers, and I said like the Raiders had their number last year. The Chargers are built to beat that team. To beat the Chiefs, you got to have guys that cover well. Obviously, you're going to double up Tyreek Hill every single time. You got to have a corner that can play, press man by himself. You got to have guys in the middle that can knock down Travis Kelce and stop him. You got to be able to get pressure on Mahomes with 4 guys. And if you can't get pressure on Mahomes with 4, you're pretty well toast.
Well, they did improve their offensive line. I mean, they added Gabe Jackson from the Raiders. I mean, they did have what did they have? Nate Soldier come over from New England. They picked up someone from New England. I can't remember. I think the name off the top of my head. Who knows? Chris Long? They picked him up. He came back from retirement and stuff. We'll
65
see how that
or something like
out.
that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how that pans out and everything. I think on that one I have to go under 2. I think just this season, the third and fourth year with Mahomes there, I think a lot more teams are going to be game planning. Just specifically, everybody wants to beat them. I mean, I know they weren't the champs from last year, but everybody wants to beat them still.
Well,
and I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. Like I said, everybody's planning to beat them.
I think that, especially in the division, you build your teams to win your division, and I think that everybody's been able to do it. And your guys' defense is getting better, and you guys, heck, you held them close last year, and I think you made improvements. So I said I think under for sure. It's too many. But
all right, let's jump over to the NFC East. This one's going to be a good one. Coach might want to close his ears on this one. Washington football team 8.5. New York Giants 7. Cowboys 9.5. The Eagles 6.5. I'm gonna go ahead and start saying I need Chill Daddy Gary Gillespie. I need him to give me his over and under on that Dallas Cowboys. But I'll go ahead and let you start out, Nate.
So I think it's for what I feel like, Washington 8.5. That's easy over for me. I love the Washington football team. I think that defense is going to be phenomenal. I had one of my good friends. We were talking about it, and he was hoping that if Aaron Rodgers did leave our Packers, he ended up in Washington. And I said that'd been a good time, But I think it's an easy over for me for Washington. Giants. Sorry, Joe. They're not winning 7 games. Eagles, they're not. I don't think that place is a mess. I don't care. Jalen Hurts does look really good. That team's incredibly thin. Their defense, no linebackers. The Alex Singleton's the only guy out there that really does anything. Their front 4 is very good, but they only have 4 guys. The backups are not good. And yeah, I'm sorry, Gary, man. I don't know if Dallas can win 10 games. I'd like to say they can, but I don't think they will. So
I think
sorry,
this whole division, I'm going under with everybody except the Washington team. I'm actually going to go over on that. Now, look, Dallas is going to be the one pushing them and everything. I know Gary's a big homer with them too. He keeps it real, and he'll tell you if they ain't going to do it, if they ain't going to do it. Where I'm going to tell you the Raiders aren't going to do it all the time. Excuse me. But look, they're going to be the ones pushing Washington. But I see Washington being the team to beat in that division.
Yeah. And hey, by the way, I love Micah Parsons, Gary. That dude, he's the real deal. I'm excited to watch him throughout the season, and hopefully, like I said, that whole linebacker core can stay healthy. Because as much as it pains me to say it, they're fun to watch. But we'll move on to the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons are at 7.5. The Panthers are also at 7.5. The Saints at 9, and the Bucks at 11.5. I'll real quick just run through this one because I don't really care about the NFC South. I hope. Sorry if
Gotcha.
you, Rich.
No, you're good. You're good.
Falcons, I think it's under 7.5. We didn't talk about it. The Saints under 9. I think the Saints are going to have a very tough year. I don't know if they win 5 games, to be honest with you. It's just a mess down there. No Michael Thomas. I love Alvin Kamara, but he can't win. He can't win it all. And then the Panthers at 7.5. I don't know really. That's kind of a wash for me. I I want to take the over because, I'm a fan. I think Sam Darnold's got kind of resurrected his career. It's not his fault that it was so bad. But the first 9 games, I think I'll say the first 10 games, they got probably 8 wins, I think, in my opinion, to be honest with you. I know they're not going to be 8-2, but, I think there's quite a few easy winners for them. And then, Bucks over. Yep, I'm going with that too. They're not going to miss a beat. They returned 22 starters. I know Clyde Christensen was saying that Tom and him at the end of the year were, I wish we had 8 more weeks because we're finally starting to click, and that offense was really good. So it's an easy over for me.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that I'll go over. Man, I wouldn't bet on the other ones because those are some real tight lines and everything. It could easily go either way and stuff like that. I do what you see on the Saints. I don't think they'll get to the 9 wins and everything. I think they're an easy under. They got a lot to prove this year with the quarterback. If Winston's going to be the starter, we just don't know what's going to happen with them and everything. I mean, I believe they have to start Winston at quarterback over Hill due to the fact that if they have Winston in, they could still have Hill on the field. And then, because if they had Hill on the field, you can't have Winston out there with him. So I feel that's the reason why they have to go with Winston and stuff like that to keep to have that availability to have Hill on the field at the same time. So, and I just think having that, there's going to be too much confusion and everything. It was a lot more easier to deal when Breeze was there because you knew he was the man and everything. I think it's going to be some games where they're going to be trying to figure out, well, do I want him in these situations and everything? And that's just going to confuse the team.
No, I'm with you on that one.
So, NFC West, Arizona Cardinals 8.5, the 49ers 10.5, Rams 10.5, Seahawks 10. That's a lot of wins for one division. Man, those are some tight lines, but I'll be honest with you, on every single one of those, I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know, and those are ones I definitely probably would not bet on a single thing. That division is tough. I think the NFC West, AFC West, top to bottom are very, very good. And like you said, it's tough to know, if they split every game at the division, I could see that happening, easily. And I don't know, I know the Cardinals are kind of going all in, but if it was 2015, they'd probably have a lot better shot. They got some veterans, I guess. They're almost like past that for me. I know that doesn't make sense, but they're just got some older dudes. The Niners, I know Jimmy G's looked fine, and I think he will start, and I think that's probably smart. I like Trey Lance. He's going to be fun, but there's a lot of stuff he needs to learn, and Kyle Shanahan's there to teach it to him, but I don't want him to get, thrown into the sharks. And, like I said, I don't think he'll struggle. Hell, they did it with I just forgot the 2 guys' names now. Gosh darn it. The guys that last year, the 2 quarterbacks were playing last year for the Niners. But
what was it, Beathard and
CJ Beathard with the Iowa kid, and then that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And then I could see the Rams. That one maybe. I think they're going to be pretty good. I know the running back room's kind of screwed up right now. But
I think a reason why everybody's picking the Rams, obviously their defense is good.
Stafford.
But I think Stafford is the one that persuades that 10.5 over it. And to me, the more I think about it, that would probably be one that I might be willing to bet on. But it's still a tough division and stuff like that. And Stafford still has to come in and show that he can hang with all these boys over here in this division. Just like I was saying with the AFC West being the toughest division on the AFC side and everything, NFC is going to be the toughest division on that side and everything. And, look, we were just talking about the schedules and everything. And a lot of the teams that are playing in the AFL side, they got to play all these teams. So that means they got to play all those teams over there that are good, tough games for them. I mean, you look at the Rams. I mean, they got to play against Tampa Bay. They're going to be playing against Green Bay. It's some tough schedules. Man, I really don't see a lot of – they play Baltimore. They got some tough wins in there too. They play – you know what, it's looking like a more of an easier schedule than what I was initially looking at. I could easily see them taking the over on that one.
Yeah, the one thing when you look real quick, the first 5, they go Chicago, at Indy, Tampa, Arizona, and then at Seattle. That could be a 1-4 easily. I'm sorry, the Bears suck, so I'll always say they'll beat them. But those next 4 games really they could. Depending on, we don't really know what's going to happen. with Arizona or really anything. But that one is tough to call. But I think that
that's easy 2 wins, Gary.
As long as they got their kneecaps when they get done.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to the last division for this episode. NFC North. Chicago Bears 7.5, Vikings 8.5, Detroit Lions 5, and the Packers 10.5.
Oh yeah.
Only over I'm willing to bet on it's Green Bay Packers. Nick,
Yep.
I'm sure you're looking at the same thing. Same with me, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, I don't really care about the schedule, to be honest with you. I think, I know I'm being a homer or whatever, but I do think they made some improvements. Obviously, Rodgers pretty much does it all. I don't really go into it. Like I said, 10.5 seems pretty low to me. I thought it's kind of weird that a team is in the NFC Championship and they're everybody else is that much higher and they're just 10.5. So I don't think the rest of the teams.
Do you think this line was set before the Rodgers decision to stay?
Well, to be honest, I just looked at it today, and they, those lines move quite a bit on FanDuel. I mean, especially in season, but these aren't locked in. And I think it was actually when it was kind of up in limbo and stuff. I think it was down lower, and they even took the NFC North off for a while, off a bunch of books, and they didn't know what was going to happen. But yeah, I'm with you. Like I said, the Bears aren't winning 7 games. Sorry, Justin Fields shouldn't start either. He's going to get killed. That offensive line is not good, and I like Justin Fields, and I don't want that to be, another Andrew Luck situation or even like a Joey Burrow thing. I just don't think he's ready. He's looked really good, but there's a lot of reads, he's not ready for it. Maybe misses a few here and there. His coach is a dipshit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. But
I'll try to beat that out.
I think, that's the easy ender for me. The Vikings, I don't think they will. And the Lions, they're not going to win either. I think the Lions and the Texans are going to be fighting for the worst record in the NFL this year.
No, I'll second you on that one. The Vikings is the only one, me personally, I could see them being a little bit better than what they did last year and everything. If Kissing Cousins, is that what you call him?
Yes, sir.
Kissing Cousins. Hey, it's going to stick one day. I know. I'm trying to help you out.
Kirk Kissing Cousins is somebody is going to keep saying it with me. I'm glad you're on the train.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you just stay consistent and everything, I can see them going over and everything. Looking at their schedule, they got Cincy, Arizona, Seattle, Cleveland, Detroit, Carolina. I mean, they got a tough schedule and everything, but I could easily see them pulling out 8 wins. They play Chicago. They're going to have some tough battles. They got Baltimore at home. They got the Chargers at home. Yeah, I mean, I see them going over and stuff like that. It'll be a tough one, but that one's going to be a close line. Don't know if I'm willing to bet it, but on this line right now, I'm willing to say that they're going over.
Yeah, I said it's close. That's for sure.
So, Nate, that is our first episode of Dollars to Deuces. What's your thoughts on it, man?
I had a lot of fun. I'm excited for the season. Looking forward to talking about some, like I said, weekly lines, talking about little line movements here and there. Hopefully we can learn a few things about gambling and, help people out. And feel free to DM me. I'm sure Rich, same way. They're always open if you got questions. Hell, just tweet at us, whatever you want to do. The show, us, we're here to help as much as we can. And, like I said, I'll be fully transparent on whatever I do. It's winning and losing, and I'll make sure I'm going to try to keep a record throughout the year of, maybe we can pick 3 or 4 games a week that we really like, a couple player props here and there, and try to, see how we do out throughout the year. But, that's kind of where I'm at. Look, just have a little fun. Yep.
So you heard it here first. Dollars Deuces. This is going to be a new episode that we're going to be doing on a weekly basis every Wednesday night. As the season gets going, we will have a more set time and everything, depending on the evenings and stuff, how the evenings flow and everything. But I mean, what do you think? We're looking around 9:30 Central time every Wednesday and stuff, and we'll try to stick to that. Yep. As always, you can follow me at rgonzalezrm on Twitter. You can find Nate at Nate_Dirt19. Nate, I know you had a long day and everything, so anything you want to say before we part out of here?
Let's make it a profitable one. That's about it.
Hey, yeah, you know what? Look, I want to gain a little money this year, and look, we're going to do our best to help you guys out and everything. Hey, we're not gospel, but hey, we're going to give it to you guys how we see it. You good to go, Nate?
Yes, sir. Have a good
Y'all
night,
have
everybody.
a
Thanks for
good
listening.
night. Thanks.